So, another week for this Spider-Geddon event. It's almost the end of November. We got one more month to go. And, well, this week we got Spider-Force number 2 and Spider-Geddon number 4. I'm a little annoyed this week. Alright, but before I talk about why I'm annoyed, let's talk about Spider-Force number 2. So the first issue I was kind of disappointed about. This issue was kind of better. Sure, why not? So it starts off, we see the radioactive planet that in the last issue the Spider-Force went to. We see a space station and there's these astronauts that are like fixing it up, and Verna is actually on the space station and basically kills a bunch of astronauts that are on the space station. Now we see this dude who is called the Spider-Naut. Oh, okay. And he starts fighting the Spider-Force, and Kane actually uses the mark of Kane to make some of his suit like break, I guess. And Kane is like, oh, well, if you don't patch up your suit, the radiation's gonna get to you. And then like they talk telepathically. Okay. And we see Spider-Naut's origin. He is J. Jonah Jameson's son, and he's on this spaceship. Spider's on his cheek and I guess bites him, but then they get like bombarded with some cosmic rays, I guess, and then yeah, that's how he happened. Then we see Spider-Naut actually has this crystal, which I don't know if that's supposed to be Solus's crystal that Spider-Force are looking for, but if it is, I think that's how he's like doing the telepathic stuff. I don't know, because this book was very confusing. Then we see what looks to be Scorpion, which he's just there and we never see him in the rest of the issue. So Jessica Drew's trying to explain to Spider-Naut that Verna is a poopy head and is killing all of his people because he's getting like these distress signals about like, oh, there's something going on the space station. And she's like, come on, let's just, we'll help you. And he's like obviously being a jerk about it. Then they fly to the space station and they make their way through the ship, and Spider-Naut basically stabs Verna in the chest with something. It might be Solus's crystal, I don't know, because they didn't say it, and that's why this book is confusing. And yeah, that's it for this. This book was a little confusing, but better than the first issue, because more stuff happened, but this isn't that good. Now, why am I mad? Well, if we look at Spider-Geddon number 4 here, we start off with Jessica Drew having Solus's the life essence in the crystal, and she goes through a portal. As you can see, she goes through a portal, and then they take the crystal and put it in the thing, and then guess what? Solus is back. So what's the point of this miniseries? We just spoiled this miniseries. We just spoiled Spider-Force. Issue 3 comes out next month. So we just see the ending to this series in the main book. So then there's no point in reading this, because we know what happens. What? This annoys me so much, because they could have just made Spider-Force 2 issues, then they could have resolved it, and then say, oh, you gotta read Spider-Force first, and then you read Spider-Force, and then you could go to Spider-Geddon and read Spider-Geddon and see what happens. So we spoil Spider-Force in the Spider-Geddon book. And issue 3 doesn't come out for another month. And apparently they're like, oh, Kane's team is probably dead. So Kane is dead? We didn't even see that yet. That doesn't even happen in Spider-Force number 2. So these editors are ridiculous, because isn't this their job to make sure the continuity lines up of this storyline that's going on? Clearly they aren't. And another thing, let's not even talk about Spider-Force anymore, because that whole situation, that whole thing is just annoying me so much. But another thing, in issue 3, we try to play off that there's gonna be like a Spider-Man civil war between Superior Octopus's team or Superior Spider-Man and Miles Morales' teams, but there isn't, because they just team up anyway. So what was the point of them leaving and then coming back together and to join forces anyway? What? So that we can make tie-ins so that they could have two separate teams go off into two separate books? So the team is at Earth 13, which is where the Captain Universe Spider-Man was, where the Cosmic Spider-Man then died in Spider-Verse from Solus, and they're trying to see if the Captain Universe of Earth 616, if they could find the Earth 616 Captain Universe to fight Solus and the Inheritors. And there's something really funny. Now, the only way that you can really enjoy the Spider-Man from the video game universe in this book is if you played the game. And I did play the game, and I love the game, and it's really cool because there are some things that are in here that you can only appreciate if you played the game. So they go back to Leopard, and they're aboard Leopard, and they find out that Solus is back. And Superior Spider-Man basically tells the Norman Osborn Spider-Man and Spider-Man to get out because they're trying to be evil and do their thing, and Superior Spider-Man's like, just get out of here because you're not helping. Then Superior Spider-Man and Miles kind of make amends, and they say, okay, well, let's work together because this is the fate of the universe that's in the balance right now. But the Norman Osborn Spider-Man and Spider-Man actually go to Loom World. They were supposed to go to their regular universe, but the Web Warriors are idiots and didn't pay attention, and they let them go to whatever universe, and they went to Loom World, which has the Web of Life and Destiny on it. And Spider-Man actually starts to eat Karn as well, because Karn is there because he died in the beginning of the series. So the Norman Osborn cuts a piece of the Web of Life so that he can teleport, and he wants to basically destroy the Web of Life. And that's what happens. So Spider-Man has one of each of his spiders and goes into every universe, and the Norman Osborn goes into another universe, and he presses a detonator, and the Loom World basically explodes. And the Web of Life Destiny is destroyed. And the Web Warriors are trying to figure out what's going on, because their watches or their teleporting watch thingies are messed up, so they can't jump to different universes. So now they're stuck on Earth 616. So Superior Spider-Man and Ben Reilly go to the Inheritors base, and Superior Spider-Man backstabs Ben Reilly. Basically, Superior Spider-Man made a deal with Solus where Superior Spider-Man would give Ben Reilly to the Inheritors to eat so that they can absorb, because when they absorb Ben Reilly, they'll get his intelligence. So then they can clone themselves even more and use the technology. But the Inheritors have to go to a different universe and not stay in Earth 616. So does that mean Ben Reilly's dead? Because we just see them kind of hover over him and he's just laying there, so I guess Ben Reilly's dead. And the Web Warriors actually summon the Enigma Force, and the Enigma Force is apparently mad, the Enigma Force is the Captain Universe Force thingy. So yeah, this was Spider-Geddon 4. It was alright, but I still have problems that they spoil Spider-Force, so they spoil a tie-in, which doesn't really matter that much if you're only reading the main story and not reading the tie-ins, but because I'm reading everything, I'm kind of annoyed about that. But it seems like the conflict in maybe the next issue, hopefully in the next issue, will be that Miles is like, well, you used Ben Reilly, you killed Ben Reilly basically, you did that without letting us know. And Superior Spider-Man's gonna be like, oh, this is whatever, I did it to save us, and then that'll be the conflict. But I don't know, because the cover of the next issue has Solus and the Captain Universe Spider-Man. Looks like they're gonna be going at it. So we might not even get a conflict of what Superior Spider-Man and Miles Morales will, if they even will have an argument about it. But there was a lot of talking in this, which I did like, just because we didn't really get that much plot kind of stuff in the last issue. The last issue was just like them, like, it was just them trying to beat the Inheritors, and then they didn't, obviously, and now we actually get more exposition, and they're like, okay, now they actually have a plan because they're working together. Honestly, the last issue seemed like it was kind of a filler issue because nothing really happened. So yeah, just trying to pad it out so that it could be 5 issues. But yes, that was this week. Very disappointed with this week. This was, I think this series is gonna be trash, Spider-Force. So I'm just gonna throw that over there. But like I said, this was alright, but this event is going downhill. I'm telling you guys, it's going downhill. Let's hope it just picks up by issue 5, because if it doesn't, I'm gonna be really mad, because I made a pact to get all the tie-ins and get everything that has to do with Spider-Geddon, and if it isn't good, I'm gonna be disappointed. So, we'll have to see what happens next week, because next week we got Spider-Gwen the Ghost Spider #2 and Spider-Girls #2, which Spider-Girls is actually the good tie-in, which I didn't think would be good because it was called Spider-Girls, and I thought they were like pushing the girl power thing, but no, that's actually good, and Spider-Force isn't, and I thought Spider-Force would be good, and I was excited for that. So we'll have to see what happens with that next week, so stay tuned for that. And guys, if you like the video, want to give this video a like, check out some of the other videos we have here posted on the channel, and check out some of the other Spider-Geddon videos we have on the channel. I got a coverage of every issue of the Spider-Geddon event in a playlist, so go check out that playlist if you haven't seen the other videos, and subscribe if you want to see more Spider-Geddon videos in the future. So guys, I will see you in the next one.